Hello everyone, I'm Atul Dahale and welcome to my Incredible Chess channel. Today I'm going to show you an attacking game. Yes guys, we are going to see how to attack on opponent's king. The Kingside attack will be unfolded in this game. So let's begin. In this game, white player's name was Dobias and his opponent's name was Podgorny. This was played in Prague in 1952. Before we move further, I would like to say that don't forget to like this video, share this video with your friends, and in the end, after looking at complete video, do let me know how did you find this game, how do you like my analysis and everything. It will definitely help me to improve in the future, and your appreciation will always be welcomed. And you can also subscribe to my channel if you are new here. So let's begin. The game starts with e4. Black plays e6. This is the French defense. Then white plays d4, d5 and knight c3. Well, this is the interesting variation, I will say. Knight d2 is also one of the ideas in the position, but okay. Here knight f6, e5, knight of d7 has been played many times, and it is famous by the name Stennis variation. But in the game, black decided to capture on e4. Then white captures on e4 and black plays knight d7. Of course, knight f6 is the threat, or you can say the idea on the next move. White says like, okay, no problem, I'll just keep developing my pieces. He plays knight to f3, bishop to e7. He brings the bishop to d3, anticipating that in the future he will be getting some play on this diagonal. The pawn on h7 will be under attack. Black plays knight gf6. Of course, he wants to castle. He needs to develop the pieces. White says like, okay, I will play queen to e2, support the knight furthermore. Black castles in the position, white also castles. And now in this position, black should have played the move like b6 followed by bishop b7 and be a little bit patient in the position and go for just the development of his pieces. But instead of developing the pieces, he played the move which is typically intermediate players or the beginner starting level players play. That was playing the same piece again which you already played. He plays knight captures e4, and then white plays queen captures e4. Of course, the threat is to play queen into h7 check and mate. Black's idea was very clear that he wanted to play knight f6, attack the queen, and maybe black thought like queen will go behind and then he will play b6 and bishop b7. But white had some other intentions in the position. He wanted to attack on his king, so he played queen to h4, keeping an eye on the h7 square. Black plays b6 in this position, and now to remove the defender from f6 square, because this knight is defending the pawn on h7. If the knight is not there on the board, then there will be a check and mate on the board, right? So he plays bishop to g5, threatening bishop captures f6, followed by this. Like, let's suppose you play bishop b7, a move, then after bishop into f6, if you capture, then it's a straightforward check and mate. And if you don't do that thing, then simply you are going to lose a piece. So black doesn't have time to play bishop to b7 in the position. Now let's see how he can defend against the threat like bishop and the queen attacking the pawn on h7. The first move comes to our mind is h6, but this will not be working in the position. You can stop the video, pause the video and think about it. What can you do in this position? Well, I hope that you have paused the video, and you might have seen this thing that white has a very interesting variation. White can capture on f6, bishop captures f6, and now the queen is under attack. Queen moves to e4 square, threatening two things at the same time. The h7 square is something which you are going for. Queen h7 check and mate. If the checkmate is stopped by playing g6, then the rook on 8 will be hanging in the position. So as you can see, the h6 is not working. So black plays in this position g6 move. By playing some vestige of moves, he is forced to play the move like g6 to defend his king side, right? But okay, g6 move stops everything, I agree, and white continues with his play. c4 was played, bishop to b7 was played, and now here in this position, white comes up with a very interesting idea. The idea is like he plays d5. Of course, the pawn is free, of course, but his main concern is not to get back the pawn or something like that. White wants to play rook f e1 with the idea of capturing on e7. Once he captures the bishop on e7, then he will be getting the knight on f6 followed by queen h6, queen g7 checkmate will happen. For example, if you play some random move like a5, then rook captures e7, queen captures e7, bishop f6, and if you play anywhere, then queen h6 and queen g7 is a checkmate threatened. And even if doesn't happen, I will say like even if queen e6 or something like that is played, you are not going for this thing, but okay, you can still attack the queen needs to move, and at least you will be having two pieces for the rook. That is more than enough in the position to win. So that is not working. So black in this position plays h6, and white simply captures on h6 here. Knight comes on g4 square, attacking the queen over here. Queen moves back to h4 square, still putting some pressure on bishop on e7. He captures bishop into g5, knight captures g5. The threat is to play queen h7 checkmate, and also the knight on g4 is under attack, so black plays knight f6, preventing against the checkmate here on h7, and now white plays queen h6. His idea is very deep, that not very deep, but quite straightforward also, you can say. Bishop g6, f g6, queen into g6, and then followed by rook e3, rook h3, check and mate. For example, I'll just play one random move to show you the variation. Bishop captures g6, f captures g6, queen captures g6 check, king h8, and then followed by rook to e3. And definitely I'll say like there will be a checkmate, or you need to give up the queen, and black cannot really do anything about this thing. So I hope that you got the thing which I wanted to tell you. So here black plays d4, stopping rook to e3 idea, but white in this position comes up with an amazing move. I will again request you to pause the video, think about the position, what can be done, what cannot be done in the position. There is a brilliant move in the position, okay? You need to think about it. Well, I hope that you have paused the video and thought about it. And the move in this position is, well, I'm going to tell you, but first of all, let's understand why that move is played. The pawn on f7 is protecting the g6 pawn, that we know. The knight on f6 is controlling the h7 square. That also we can see. So in this position, we want to get rid of the knight, or we want to deflect the pawn on f7. And in order to do that thing, in order to attack the knight or to deflect the pawn on f7, white comes up with brilliant move, that is rook to e6. This is an amazing move, I will say. Like if you play this kind of a move, rook e6, I'll say like, oh wow, what are you playing, right? So here if you capture, let's suppose if you capture in the position, then queen captures g6 check, king to h8, then again you can give a check. King has only one square, and now the bishop which was there on d3 square will come in the game. Bishop h7, if you capture, of course it's a checkmate. That's not any great idea. But after king g8, you need to figure out how to win the game, because you have three pieces to attack an opponent's king, but you need to figure out the finishing touch. And in order to find the finishing touch, you need to know the patterns. So in this position, a very nice pattern of checkmate is there. White can play bishop to f5. The discovered check is there. King needs to move here. Then bishop captures e6 check. King doesn't have any squares to move around. Rook f7 is forced, and then we can capture on bishop into f7 check and mate. I hope you got it. So that's the thing. If f into e6 is played, it's going to happen. And after rook e6, if you don't do anything about it, in the game rook e8 was played, we don't need to capture, because if we capture, then black will definitely save the checkmate here, because the f7 pawn is protected. But there is a very nice move there, that is bishop captures g6. If rook captures on e6, then this is simple checkmate. And if this is captured on g6, then we can give a check. If king h8 goes, then knight f7 check and mate. You don't have any squares to move around in the position. And if you play king to f8 in the position, then queen f7 is still a checkmate. So guys, that's how the game got over. And I hope that you enjoyed the game explanation, the analysis and everything. Do let me know in the comment section, and like the video, subscribe to my channel if you are new here. We'll be meeting very soon. Till that moment, take care and love you all.